And we are live. Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham El Jaguar. In a few moments I will do a sound check. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, Game Master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. A moment please while I check the sound. Sounds good. Now another moment please while I verify if the video is monetized or not. Sometimes it's better to double check. Today we are continuing the White Album visual novel, and we're in the middle of a Rina event. It's weird how we have managed to... yes. It was not activated. It's a good thing I double check. It's funny how we're going through the Yayoi route, and we ended up activating so many Rina events unintentionally. Well, I did choose to talk to Rina, but it's still funny how I think we got some pretty significant events going. Rina is a really good route in my opinion, by the looks of it. So here we go. Let me activate full screen. There we go. I've been holding myself back for so long. I feel her sigh on my back, followed by the sweet scent of her hair. So close. Incredibly close. It's almost like we're one being. The part of my back where she's pressing her forehead against me suddenly heats up. You're right, Toya. About everything. Right now, I feel so full of so many emotions. Almost like a balloon that's about to explode. And the more desperate I am for things to work out, the worse it gets. I can't remember things like how I used to sing up until now. The heart earrings are cute. Maybe I'm more like a deflated balloon. There's no sign of anyone else around. The lamppost looking down on us is still dark. The world somehow seems even more vivid being alone with Rina in a corner of a tiny park. I thought just hearing your voice would be enough. That's why you called me? Yes, but the moment I heard you, her words dissipate into a deep sigh. One of acceptance, of relief. It's pretty rough, huh? I can't help but feel embarrassed about my lack of vocabulary, especially at a time like this. But she doesn't seem to mind and instead purrs happily, like a cat. You're the only one who's noticed, Toya. Every time I think I can't do this anymore, I force myself to feel better. It's like I'm spinning in circles and it's so frustrating. And yet all I hear from the people around me is stuff like, you seem really fired up. Hey, I feel like an idiot. Like a clown performing for their amusement. Even top idols make mistakes sometimes. But I guess she doesn't want anyone to know when she does. Oh god. They're always using God, that's not in the original dialogue. I'm such a mess. I've been off all day, letting so many things slip. It's fine, let it out. But none of them can hear you right now. I can tell she's about to say something, but then changes her mind. There's still a hesitant feeling in the air between us. You're in rough shape, huh? Yeah. I faintly feel her head nod against my back as she speaks. Do you know why? Her hesitation is answer enough, the length signifying the severity. Because this has never happened before. A part of me wonders if I'll be heading into the festival without my brother's support. Why wouldn't he be there? Don't tell me he's in the hospital. No, it has nothing to do with his health. Just spending a lot of time with Yuki lately, of course. You're talking about the incident at Echoes. That time when I was working at the cafe and Eiji suddenly appeared before, whisking them away. I remember what a foul mood he'd been in because I'd been there. Perhaps that resentment toward me still remains. Don't get the wrong idea, it has nothing to do with you, Toya. He's just focused on Yuki's training. Her training, right? Training. Hearing her name again catches me off guard and leaves me feeling unsettled. Luckily, my faint agitation isn't strong enough for her to feel something's wrong. Rina sighs softly, Rina sighs softly, yet sadly, like she's sympathizing with Yuki's plight. There's no way around it. Yuki's just starting to run, meaning she needs my brother's help more than ever. But that help comes at the expense of him abandoning you. It's not that he's trying to give Yuki, special treatment. He's not smooth enough to pull something like that off anyways. That's a pretty harsh burn if you step back and think about it. Or from a different perspective, you might call it evidence of her faith in Eiji's steady hand as a producer. It's just that my brother and I have different interpretations of what's fair. What's fair is fair, period. He should be treating all of his employees in a professional way. I know he's trying to get Yuki up to my level, because he wants us to have a fair fight. But as far as I'm concerned, fair would be helping us both out equally. He may look at it as giving her a little boost because Rina has a head start in the industry. She has been doing it for a while. So you could say in that way it is fair. But still, you cannot neglect the other people under your care. So that's the problem, huh? It definitely sounds like something Eiji would do. He doesn't seem to care at all about Rina, about his sister's feelings. Again, because Rina reminds him of the mother that abandoned him. He has that resentment. Sounds like a tough situation. It's hard to say if he made the right choice or not. And I doubt he's doing any of this maliciously, or that he wants to hurt her. Which is probably why, with nowhere to turn, she's been bottling up her frustrations this whole time. As far as the company is concerned, it's a sound strategy. And frankly, I'm amazed at her growth, especially over the past few months leading up to the festival. At the rate things are going, Ogata Productions will easily take home top prizes. So it doesn't matter who comes out on top. It sounds like she's in a difficult position. She probably assumed her showdown with Yuki would be much later in her career. But thanks to Eiji of all people, it's going to happen at one of the most prestigious music competitions in Japan. For Eiji, it has nothing to do with whether Rina or Yuki is the best idol or singer. What matters to him is creating a performance that best showcases his own talents, meaning Rina and Yuki are nothing more than additional stage props, or pawns. In this case, Rina is Eiji's sister, and he should, by all rights, be taking her feelings into consideration, but he is not. Or is it that him letting her train mostly on her own is evidence of how much he trusts her to take down the competition without his help? No, it's his obsession with Yuki. The reality of the situation is that she's had to deal with unimaginable levels of both hostility and approval, while lacking that precious pillar of support. And despite all that, she still has to work as hard as ever to keep her title as the top idol within the industry. Outstanding success is the baseline for her. Failure would tarnish her reputation as an artist. And that's not all. The support she lost will be even further out of reach. At times like this, It feels like there's truly nothing I can do other than simply stand here. Rina, I feel like such a loser. You're under so much stress and there's nothing I can do to help. You noticing at all is more than enough. And listening to me bent like you're doing and listening to me bent like you're doing now, I feel her lean a bit more of her weight on my back. I'm the one who feels like a loser, not having anyone in my life that I can talk to. Up until now, music was my life, which is why the only person I could ever talk to was my brother. It's partly because he was there for me so much that I made this far. He's all I have. But he doesn't feel the same way I do. Ever since Yuki appeared on the scene, Rina, there's no doubt in my mind that the person why I'm so jealous about them spending time together is due to the reason. There's no doubt in my mind that the reason why I'm so jealous about them spending time together is due to my own anxiety that she's taking him from me. And I got you involved in this mess due to purely selfish reasons. I'm sorry. You don't have to. I do. I've always been horrible in social situations, which is why I've never been able to make friends. I never knew how big of a difference there was between having just one other person and being all alone. Not having anyone to support you is really scary. I'm far from qualified to take on that role in her life. There's no way a nobody like me could support someone as famous as Rina. But I feel bad for dumping all this on you, Toya. I'm really sorry. It seems like all I've been doing today is apologizing. Even if I'm not a musical genius, I can still support Rina in other ways. Like what I'm doing right now by listening to her. If she finally feels comfortable enough to open up to me about how she truly feels, then her apologies will actually mean something instead of ringing hollow. You can cry on my shoulder whenever you need to. It's the least I can do for you, Rina. If giving her a space to vent is all that it takes to make her feel better, then there's no reason to balk at that. Balk at that. Don't make promises you can't keep. Women never forget, you know. Good, I don't want you to forget. You really promise? Yes, I promise. As long as you continue singing. That's a pretty tall order. I get older every year, and it's not like I can sing forever. Well, there are some pretty old singers. About a year ago, I saw that Sarah Brightman is still singing, and she's not exactly the youngest. Or Megumi Hayashibara as well. I don't care if you're middle-aged or singing from the nursing home, if you're the top idol or standing center stage. I just love your voice and the music you make. It has nothing to do with you being a top idol. Again, Toya, you say some horrible things sometimes. You make it sound like I never had a chance to begin with. Drip? Oh, I hear a faint tremble in her voice. I can feel her body shake against my back. Crying? Oh crap. This is all your fault, Toya. Saying weird stuff like that without warning. So she's crying a bit. But I'm starting to understand why Yuki fell in love with you, Toya. I never said those things to her. Huh? I never said anything like this to Yuki. Only to you, Rina. Rina, don't look at me. I don't look anything like a top idol right now. I don't have that top idol face. Yeah? Rina is alone. Up until now, she's always been truly alone. Never had a shoulder to cry on like this. I reach down and silently hold her hand on my waist, like I'm trying to protect her bare skin from the cold, dry air. Toya, can we stay here like this for a little longer? Ooh, sure. Oh, how many hours they spent like that? At some point, our words dried up. It felt like we'd been standing there forever. And yet the winter cold didn't seem to bother us as twilight transitioned into night. Though the breeze was starting to pick up, the bitter chill I'd grown used to was gone. Spring is just around the corner. I can feel the changing seasons on my skin. And that was it. The 27th. Let me check the guide. On the 29th. Almost the date with Yayoi. Now then, where should I go today? Well, first we have to save. Save, yes. Oh, terrible interactions. Well, Misaki isn't so bad. I'm working at Echoes today. I head over to the cafe. Welcome. Oh, it's Misaki.
Konnichiwa.
Hello. Welcome. I should talk to her since she stopped by to see me. You're really not a big sports fan, huh, Misaki? No, not really. That's right. She's really bad at anything sports related. And she has such a great body. She can run as fast as anyone else can. But as soon as it gets even a little competitive, she freezes up. It's because of her inferiority. That starts at home. That always starts at home. And that's later on accentuated at school. When the bad kids, evil kids, notice that someone has inferiority issues or self-confidence problems, they're going to take advantage of that to get some sort of sick satisfaction. She understands the concept of sportsmanship, but seems terrified of it for some reason. Maybe she just can't deal with the idea of being pitted against others. You don't even watch it on TV? Watch what? Sports. Sports like baseball or soccer. I do sometimes, though I'm not a huge fan of baseball or soccer. Even just watching them? Yeah. There's too many people and you never have any idea what's going on. Well, you need to learn the rules. That's why she doesn't like it, is it? So that's why she doesn't like it, is it? She doesn't understand how the game works, let alone how the players move. Oh, I do watch tennis though. That makes sense to me. I watch matches all the time. So she likes tennis, huh? I was actually planning on asking Haruka for some tennis tips before she quit. Oh, right. Misaki has no idea why Haruka quit. But I guess she figured something bad must have happened to trigger that reaction. Most other sports are simply beyond my capabilities, like figure skating or competitive dancing. Competitive dancing? I prefer remaining a spectator, watching from the sidelines. Yes, but the thing about sports or any physical activity, it is always practice. When you take a look at, oh, somebody is just too good, and I'm terrible, just practice, and you will become good. Maybe you will never be the best. Of course, genetics, talent, many other factors play in, but if you practice a sport enough, you can become decent. Not the best, but decent at least. I can tell she's trying to joke about it, but it's hard to miss the hint of frustration in her voice. 28. Yayoi is coming to Echoes today. Now, where should I go? Well, of course we're going to Echoes. Of course. Let me double check. 29. Okay. Here we go. Oh, could it be that the guide is wrong and it is today? Ah, yes. The guide is incorrect. Today is the day. I'm working at Echoes today. I head over to the cafe. How exciting! It's another slow day with barely any customers. But we are only waiting for one customer. Welcome, Yayoi. She's here, just like she said she'd be.
あら、今日もお仕事です
You're
ね。
working today? As if she doesn't know. He asks, though the answer is obvious.
それでは、
I was
今夜
hoping
も私とご
I
一緒
might
し
be
て
able
く
to
ださる
convince
お
you
時
to
間は
spend
ござ
some
いま
time
せ
with
ん
me
でした
tonight. You bet. Hmm. Go with her, of course. Sure, I'll keep you company. I say. It's dry and emotionless. Oh, Toya, come on.
よかったですわ。
Great. I was
今夜
hoping
は
to
誰
have
かとお
a
話ししたかった
tete-a-tete with someone tonight. Tete-a-tete? Such a fancy term. What kind of outdated term is that?
それでは、
In that
お
case,
仕事がお済
I'll
みに
stick
なるま
around
でお待
until
ち
it's
しており
time
ま
to
す
clock out. She then goes to sit at her usual table near the back. Ooh, yeah. When it starts to get close to closing time, she stands up from her seat.
お待ちしております。
I'll be waiting for you outside. Yayoi is stopping by my place again tonight. I guess this is happening again, huh?
おかしなことをおっしゃいま
You
す
say
ね。
some strange things sometimes,
望んでいるのは
especially considering you want
藤井さ
this.
んの方でしょ。
Oh, you want it, alright. That's only partially true. He wants it too, exactly. Put Yuki on one side of a scale and me on the other, and witness the bizarre tilt imbalance. No matter how much I try to look away, she always appears, silently, right in front of me. Over and over again. Honestly, that's not the part that bothers me. It's just that right now, I find myself drowning in her wet, scarlet lips, her smooth skin without even a single blemish, her overcast eyes, and her flat, emotionless voice. Clear skin is such a great indication of good health. I don't love her, and she's never had even a shred of affection for me. Our relationship is nothing more than a transaction, simply taking what's being offered. Love doesn't exist in this space between us, are you sure? And when the time comes, we'll go our separate ways. Are you sure? It's not that our feelings have cooled off. Our deal was clinical and detached, cynical and detached from the start, these editors. Something that starts at zero will remain there, no matter how much time has passed. It bears neither positive nor negative. Nothing is lost, and nothing is gained. This is pure rationality at its finest. Having finished for the time being, she spits the leftovers of our dalliance into a tissue. That's very open to interpretation, right? She's constantly like spitting things into a tissue, but it makes you think what she put into her mouth. The gesture is dispassionate, almost as if she's disposing of leftover food. It's just my imagination. I haven't really lost anything. I'm exhausted, that's all. The only reason for the inexplicable loss I feel. She once again returns to the business at hand. I moan quietly. Oh, this Toya. Take charge for once, Toya. I haven't lost anything, and I don't love her. I don't love her. In the anime, he takes charge. Sometimes she is a bit more on the dominant side, but he takes charge. Like, how would you say? 3 out of 4 times, more or less. 3 out of 5. I don't love her. 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 I don't need her love. Did he say I don't need her love? I don't need her love. I quietly moan. Once more, she resumes her skillful manipulation of my body. This guy. That was it? Now then, where should I go today? Ah, so you have to go twice with her? Well, Yayoi is at the TV station. Well, either way, we are saving the game. And this is going to be it for White Album for today. In about 3 hours, 3 hours and a half, I'm going to be streaming Eternites and then Lunacy. Thank you for watching this live stream, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host Abraham L. Jaguar, and remember, level up in game and level up in life. Once again, thank you. See you later.